Hey guys, the Ramos Online here, and welcome to Ramos Recommends. Yes, I'm giving this thing a name. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I say Greninja? Is it a powerful special attacker with a wide move pool? Well, did you switch into a special wall or use light screen? I see. Well, you just gave me a free attack, because today we're looking at physical Greninja. Now, when it comes to physical water types, there are a lot of better options, so the only reason to use a physical Greninja is to trick your opponent. Normally, seeing a Greninja provokes the other player into switching into a specially defensive wall who doesn't have very good defenses, or it will make the other player waste a turn setting up a light screen, letting you get the KO on a specially defensive wall that might have otherwise been a problem for your other Pokémon. Starting with the abilities, Greninja gets Torrent, the normal ability a water type starter Pokemon gets, and its hidden ability, Protean. For this guide, we'll be using Protean, which changes Greninja to the type of the move it's using. So if you use a grass type move, Greninja becomes pure grass type. If you use a water type or dark type move, it will become pure water or pure dark. The only Pokemon that shares this ability with Greninja is Kecleon, so it's a pretty limited ability. When it comes to its nature, Greninja already has a base speed of 122, meaning not many things can outspeed it. So rather than give it a jolly nature, I give it Adamant, although you can give it jolly if you wish. Adamant increases its attack while lowering its special attack, while Jolly lowers special attack in exchange for higher speed. Whichever nature you go for, make sure you give it 252 EVs in attack and speed to maximise the two stats it will be using the most. I put the last 6 EVs, technically 4, into HP, but you can put them anywhere. If you're going to be breeding for your Greninja, make sure its attack and speed IVs are maxed. However, if you can also get HP, defense, and special defense maxed, go for it, because that might mean the difference between surviving an attack or getting knocked out in one strike. Greninja is known for its wide move pool, however physical Greninja does not get the best of this. When it comes to physical water moves, it only gets 2, Waterfall with its chance to flinch, and Water Shuriken, which is priority. When it comes to dark type moves, you have 2 viable options. Feint Attack, which never misses, or Night Slash with its increased crit chance and slightly higher base power. I prefer Night Slash as it helps me take down some Pokemon which might try to set up with things like Curse or Stockpile once they've figured out that I'm a physical Greninja. You do also get Fling and Thief, which can make for a very dangerous opening by flinging a King's Rock, then stealing whatever the other Pokemon is holding, but I prefer to not use these moves because that's 2 dark type moves on a Greninja. Have a bit of variety because you've got Protean. When it comes to flying type moves, you have 2 viable options here as well. Aerial Ace, which never misses, or Acrobatics, whose base power of 55 will double to 110 if Greninja isn't holding anything. You can also get Bounce from its pre-evolutions, however this move doesn't always hit and has a rather low base power, so I wouldn't recommend using it. If you want to scout the enemy's moves, or their Pokemon, or you want a reliable way to hit dark type Pokemon, you can always give Greninja U-turn, which also helps them get out of a dangerous situation without taking damage. If your team is lacking a ground type move, you can actually give Greninja Dig. It will take an opponent off guard, but it's also very easy to counter, so be careful. While it isn't that powerful, Power Up Punch can make for a devastating move if your opponent is really low on health. Stab Power Up Punch will probably knock them out, and you get a free boost with it as well. Return might not be the best choice considering all these other moves have a chance of being super effective against the enemy, but it is there if you ever wanted it. When it comes to priority moves, you get 2. Shadow Sneak, which does have a low base power, but can help finish off any Pokemon that's hanging on with a Focus Sash. And as mentioned earlier, you also get Water Shuriken, which has a pretty low base power, but can hit up to 5 times. And lastly, the only support move you should really give Greninja if you want to is Taunt. It helps him to counter Pokemon that might try to set up on him once they realise he's a physical Greninja. When it comes to the hold items, there are several you can use. When I first made this set, I used a Focus Sash, which ensures that Greninja will always survive with 1 HP unless hit with a multi-hit move. Focus Band could also work. It has a low chance of proccing but isn't consumed on use, meaning that you can survive several turns at 1 HP without going down. It's unlikely, but I've seen it happen. Choice Band is what I currently use. It locks you into one move, but it helps make up for its base attack of 95. King's Rock is another option which can be pretty deadly with Fling, but it also works well with Waterfall, as Waterfall has a chance of flinching as it is. The only other hold item I'd recommend is the Expert Belt. What this does is it increases super effective damage by 10%. That can mean the difference between an enemy who survived or an enemy who died. This is normally the part of the video where I go over Greninja's defensive typings. However, that isn't really necessary, as Greninja's type will always change, thanks to Protean, to the type of the move it's using. However, for the event of you getting outsped, keep these things in mind. When it comes fresh out of the Pokeball, Greninja is going to be weak to Electric, Grass, Fighting, Bug, and Fairy. Is going to resist Fire, Water, Ice, Ghost, Dark, Steel, and is completely immune to Psychic. So he makes a great switch in against a Pokemon you know is going to use a Psychic type move. So there you have it, my physical Greninja guide. I'm going to leave you with a video of Greninja sweeping a team, and while you watch that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, the favourite button, whatever buttons you want to push, just keep pushing the buttons. If you have any feedback, please, I urge you, leave it in the comments. I read all the comments, which is normally 0, so please leave me something to read. And I will reply to as many as I can. I will take feedback on board because I want to improve with these videos. I want to make good videos. But I am talking over a battle and you probably don't like that, so I will shut up now and let you enjoy Greninja sweeping. Thank you for watching.